This video explains how to build something like this to monitor the load of machines in your GTNH base. This is based on GTNH 2.8.4. If it doesn't work on later versions, let me know. I'll fix the scripts and add comments describing what changed. Use Control right arrow and Control left to jump between chapters. GregTech New Horizons is an epic Minecraft mod pack with about 300 mods. It is rumored to take around 2,000 hours to complete. I've recently passed 2,000 hours and the game didn't give me any prize, so it may take longer. It starts like most Minecraft games, but will eventually shift from growing gardens to building small factories. Those turn into larger factories that can span multiple worlds, and eventually you end up with ridiculously oversized multi-block monstrosities. It's a great mod pack if you want a full-time job for a year, but don't feel like getting paid. And you can also play multiplayer with your unemployed friends. For most of GTNH, the tech levels are constantly changing, and you won't find yourself building the same thing for very long. There are 9 different tiers of computer chips. Why monitor how busy your quantum assembly chip factory is when you're about to switch to crystal processors anyway? But eventually, you will reach the dreaded endgame. Well, you're more likely to quit playing before you get there, but you are watching this video, so maybe you know what's coming next. In the endgame, GTNH switches from a constant churn from one recipe to another and instead starts to scale like a Factorio base. You only had one chip factory for optical processors? That won't suffice. You need a pile of them. Chip factory spam. But there are so many machines and recipes that you can't tell which sit around idle most of the time and which are too busy and cause bottlenecks. Congratulations, you're in the endgame, where the factory is far too complicated to reason about. You need monitoring to know what to scale next. Using the Open Computers mod that comes with the game, I built this terminal that helps me reason. It tells me how often my critical machines are running. If a machine is running most of the time, it's probably a bottleneck and I need to scale its capacity. To make it work, a set of computers are connected to the machines, and they are monitoring either directly or through redstone signals. This one, for example, monitors my primary extrusion, wire mill, and bending machines through redstone signals. I could place this right next to one of those machines, but it's easier to monitor 3 machines at once when they're all remote. The redstone signals come from advanced redstone receiver external covers on the ULV hulls that surround the computer. This one is set to frequency 1501, which is what my extrusion machine sends. Make sure to check the gate mode to analog. The computer is programmed to know what machines are in each direction, and it tracks how busy the machines are over 4 different time ranges. It will display what it is tracking, but you generally won't pay any attention to these displays. The computer broadcasts these statistics every 5 seconds, so you can display them elsewhere. We'll get to that shortly. For this to work, the machine being tracked has to send a wireless redstone signal. That is done using a wireless activity detector cover on the machine's controller block. This extrusion machine, for example, sends out its activity information on frequency 1501. Since we want a signal when the machine is busy, we check both the idle and inverted boxes. This sends a signal anytime the machine is not idle. Perfect. By the way, this isn't my only extrusion machine. I've spammed a bunch more, and one of them is also being monitored under the name Extrusion A, where A stands for array. I keep this display over my extrusion machine so I can verify that the other machines in the array are about as busy as my primary machine. If not, I probably have recipes in my primary extruder that haven't been shared with my extrusion arrays yet. If you have never set up an Open Computers instance in Minecraft before, this isn't the best guide for that, but I'll go through it quickly. Check notes in the video description for a link to the official tutorial. To build a computer, you need a computer case, a screen, and a keyboard. I use Tier 3 cases and screens for these computers. The computer case must be powered. The easiest way to provide power is via an AE2 Fluix cable under the case. It will just pull power from your AE2 network. Place the case, then place the screen and slap a keyboard on the side. Or maybe make yourself a nice computer desk and place the keyboard on that. Next, you need a graphics card, a central processing unit, some memory, a Lua-PROM, and a hard drive. For these computers, you'll also need a wireless network card to broadcast the statistics, and a Redstone card to read the Redstone signals. I use top tier for all of these parts. I haven't tested lower tiers, they might work. The hard drive must have OpenOS installed. I have a separate computer for installing OpenOS on hard drives. That computer must have an OpenOS floppy in it. Stick in a blank hard drive and reboot the computer. It will suggest you run install. Run the install program and confirm that you want to install. After a while, it will finish with the install and ask if you want to reboot. Your hard drive is ready. No need to reboot. Take the hard drive back to the load monitoring computer, stick it in, and power it up. Now you've got a blank computer. Assuming you set up your Redstone signals as described earlier, you just need to configure the software to know which sides map to which machines, and install the software. We're almost done. Grab the load monitoring software from GitHub. The link for that is in the video description. Using your favorite editor, modify this machine structure to indicate which machines are in which sides of the computer. For example, if the only Redstone signal you are monitoring comes from the north side of your computer, and it is for your extruder, you might change the structure to look like this. Once you've made that change, select and copy all of the text. On your Minecraft computer, type edit x.lua. That brings up an editor. Now you can paste the program into it using the middle mouse button. Once it's pasted, Ctrl+S saves and Ctrl+W exits the editor. You're done. Run the new program that we called X, and it will do its thing. If you ever want to stop it or change something, Ctrl+Alt+C in the terminal will stop it and let you edit it again. Or you can just reboot. That works too. The computer will start collecting information immediately, but it will take it a full day before it has accurate information about how busy the computer is over a full day. I mean, it's not psychic, so what did you expect? The number showing its busyness for a full day will continue to grow until the full day has passed, and then it will be accurate. If you ever have to restart this monitoring software, that will reset all the numbers. So you'll have to wait another full day before all the numbers are completely accurate. Once I had a bunch of machines being monitored, I set up this computer to display all the information graphically in one place. Open Computers has 3 different screen resolutions. The lowest Tier 1 screens don't work with this application. I use Tier 2 that can display 24 rows of machines, because that makes the text large enough to easily read without having to click on it. The highest resolution can display 98 rows in 2 columns, but I prefer my primary machines displayed over here, and I have a secondary display for machines I'm less worried about over here. Each of these is 3 screens wide and 2 screens high. Open Computers automatically merges a grid of screens into one when you do that. Feel free to use the highest resolution screen on a larger grid. Next time I might use the Tier 3 screen on an entire wall so the text is large enough to easily read. Maybe. Making this work is as easy as updating the machines array in the display program. Link for that is also in the description. Remember that all of the monitoring computers broadcast information about the machines every 5 seconds? This display program listens to those broadcasts and updates the screen when a broadcast message is for machines it cares about. Once the list is updated, just run the program. It will automatically detect the resolution of your screen and display things appropriately. As it receives updates, it updates the screen. Setting this computer up is even easier than the other ones, since it doesn't need to do with Redstone signals. The setup is basically the same, but you can skip the Redstone card. That is all you need. You can go ahead now and set up monitoring in your world. However, I wasn't thrilled with monitoring from my dedicated advanced assembly lines. I mean, the system worked, but it also told me that this assembly line was busy. But is it really busy? I mean, it sort of is, but it isn't fully busy. It's really only half busy. The problem is I use the load display to decide what machines aren't keeping up. And if these assembly lines usually have idle slices, then they're keeping up just fine, but they still look like they're busy. So I wrote a new script that I use for dedicated advanced assembly lines. I don't use it for shared advanced assembly lines because shared lines use blocking mode, which means that even if the machine has idle slices, you can't use them until it finishes completely. But dedicated advanced assembly lines don't do that. You can add ingredients into these at any time. So idle slices means the machine could be busier. This script monitors how much power the machine is using via an adapter next to the machine's controller. Since the script doesn't know what kind of power to expect, it keeps track of the highest power it has seen. It calls that power usage 100% load. If the machine is only using half of that power, that's 50% load. If you ever decrease the power hatches for one of these machines, just restart the program. For example, this advanced assembly line is dedicated to making pico circuits. They have 12 ingredients and so use 12 slices in the machine. If all 12 slices are busy, then the machine uses 6.5 billion EU per tick, which the computer calls 100% busy. But the power used goes down with the number of slices being used. Once it's down to a single slice, it uses 500 million EU per tick, which is about 8% busy. Hopefully that makes sense. Just like the other monitoring script, it displays the information here, but also broadcasts it. So you can monitor some machines this way and some the other way, and the display software will work with them all just fine. Setting this computer up is the same as others, but it doesn't need a redstone card since it uses the adapter to understand what the machine is doing instead. Use the AAL script in the description and change the machine name to match the AAL you are monitoring. That's it. Have fun setting up your monitoring. More obscure details follow. If you're not a computer nerd, you might want to leave now. Broadcasting is done on port 1. If you run any other scripts that broadcast on port 1, they will break the display software. Change the load port variable in all of my scripts to fix that. The advanced assembly line script depends upon reading the same machine information you can see using a portable scanner. Specifically, it looks for the currently uses text. This isn't ideal, since that means changes to the text will break the script. It likely means that if English isn't your default language, you can't use the script as it is. You'll need to fix the get power used method to match your language. I would prefer to use other methods, like the get EU input average method, that might work on wired energy hatches or might only work on batteries. I only tested it on wireless energy hatches in the machine controller, and in both cases it always returns 0. So it's really not useful. For lack of options, I had to parse the bloody English. That means the script has to work around the advanced assembly line quirk that reports using one slice worth of power when all slices are idle. The script notices the progress 0 seconds out of 0 seconds text and uses that as a signal that it isn't actually using power. But other machines, like the Forge the Gods, will report progress 0 out of 0 when it is active with recipes that take less than 1 second. But its currently using text is always accurate. This is just a long-winded way of saying that parsing the text from the machine status sucks, and it isn't generally reliable. But I wanted good machine info, and that was the only way to get it. If anyone knows a better way, let me know. I'll update the scripts and add a note in the description. There is a weird quirk with reading redstone signals from a computer in the load monitoring script. This machine structure says which redstone signals come from which direction, and it's weird. It gets data with the redstone get input method, which returns an array of 6 values, 1 for each direction. This looks reasonable, and I didn't think about it at first. But the documentation says to use sides relative to the computer's orientation. That is, instead of using sides.south, you should use something like sides.left. But the cardinal side values work, and relative ones don't. So the documentation is wrong. Well, it isn't completely wrong. There's an alternative get input method that takes a side argument. When you use that method, you have to use relative directions. Ugh. Sitting in front of a computer all day can be bad for your health. Many fun things are bad for your health. There is nothing wrong with carrying extra coal and an axe with you everywhere you go. It's weird to sit at a computer and play a game that simulates you sitting at a computer. I should probably write a game that I can play on this computer just to make it even weirder.